Hello, Pastor Randy here, Shepherd's Light Ministry. Thank you for joining our online community. Fabulous to have you. Hope to have you back. Today, we are going to focus on ants. Ants. Yes, who would have thought ants? Ants are like something that they're only mentioned twice in the Bible, and they're overlooked. They're like something we see and we're like, ew, they just like eat whatever we drop on the ground. We don't actually look into them. And I remember when I was a kid, it was pretty cool. Some people had like these ants containers, and they could watch them, and they had the dirt and they had ants in there, and it was like their ant home or whatever they were called, and they would actually like watch these ants. Well, they are really cool if you actually pay attention to them. And I had an encounter with ants the other night. I was actually in the garden, and I got some new plants. They were on clearance. Woo-hoo! Thank God for some clearance, but they weren't just clearance. They were things that deer don't like. And I've been having a major deer issue. Needless to say, it did not help keep them out, but they're not eating those plants. So those ones I know I'm good and they'll thrive. But I had an encounter with them. I was digging and digging, and I hit their mansion. And unfortunately, they weren't too happy. So there's many lessons we can learn from these ants if we pay attention. But when I hit their mansion, you saw like they scattered. And there were some, they were picking up the eggs and taking off to save the eggs. And there was these ones that were coming to attack me. They were like, yeah, I don't care how big you are, we're going to take you out. And my whole sleeve was like covered with ants. And then I had to take my sweatshirt off. Thank God I had a hoodie on. I took my hoodie off, and yes, I did have. And so I took it off. I'm like, okay, here we go. And they're just everywhere, like all over my hoodie. I had no other option but to take it off. And I shook it out and I laid it down, and they're still like scattering everywhere. But long story short, so then later, I've still found an ant on me. And this thing, no, we're not going to go later. We got to go to this part. This ant bit me, and it stuck onto me, and it would not come off. It was like, I'm hanging on. I'm going to take you out. I don't care how big you are. It was like a David and Goliath story, right? This little David's trying to take me out, and I'm like the Goliath. And it's like, I don't care. I'm hanging on for dear life. You're going to die. And it was like biting me. And I did get it off. And I took it out. This time, Goliath won. But this is how they were. Like, they each did their own part. They separated and spewed. So let's go into these ants a little bit. Now that you heard my story, you might be able to relate to some of these things that I'm going to pull out about ants. But Proverbs 6:6-8. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Laziness. You're sluggard. You don't want to do anything. You're not working. If you're sleeping during the day and taking naps, bro, it's time to do something. Like, seriously, like, you should not be. If you are not working, you should be out looking for work, or you should be doing stuff around your house. Trust me, I am busy. And if you don't have anything to do, contact me, because trust me, there's a lot to be done. Most days. Some days I'm doing things that I don't want other people here, not to be mean. It's just like paperwork and that, and I don't want distracted. But anyways, so you sluggard, don't be a sluggard. Consider it ways and be wise. So be wise. Be like an ant. Be wise like an ant. It has no commander, no chief, no commander, no one managing it, nobody telling it what to do. It just does what needs done, right? The ants, like, it needs done, they do it. It's kind of like me and Pastor Rick, we kind of like whatever needs done in the house, we do it. Sometimes I'm doing stuff that, yes, he should technically be doing, but sometimes he's doing things I should be doing. There's no there's no rule like this is the man's, no, you are together, you are one, you should be working together and just doing what needs done to get things done. If somebody else is working, don't be standing around just there like, da-da-da-da. I don't care if you don't feel good. I don't care if you're in a bad mood. I don't care if you don't know what you're doing. It is time to learn. You work. That's what we do. We are called to work. It says it throughout the Bible. We are not to be a sluggard. For more of this, watch my sluggard video. I'll get off my rant. So there's no commander, no one managing, no overseer or ruler. Verse 8. Yet it stores its provisions in the summer and gathers its food at harvest. Why? Because if it doesn't, they don't eat in the winter. Neither do their family. They starve. That's what so many people in America do. They're starving. They're living in poverty. They're starving. They don't have food. They don't have utilities. They did not gather and work when work was there. If work's available, you work. And if you don't have work, you spend that amount of time finding it. Trust me. There's people around here that I've seen that have found jobs that most people would say is impossible for that person to have a job, but they got one. If they can do it, so can you. No excuse. You should have a job within 2 weeks, month at the most. A lot of these places they go into housing. People, they have 30 days to get a job. Guess what? Knowing they have 30 days to get a job, they get a job in 30 days. You can do it too. Proverbs 30:24-25. 4 things on earth are small, yet they are extremely wise. Ants are creatures of little strength. No, very strong strength, but they do carry up to 100 times their weight. Yet they store up their food in the summer. So twice in Proverbs, the Bible talks about ants. Ants look like they are a pest, but we can learn a lot from them if we watch and pay attention. They live in prosperity is number one thing they do. Their homes are like mansions. They have all these rooms. They're actually really cool when you look into the ant homes. And they work hard for them. They work hard. You don't see an ant stop. When the ants get up, from the time they get up to the time they go to bed, those ants are working. They work hard, and that's why they live in prosperity. They keep their eyes on the prize, and they work like they're working like for Jesus, just as the Bible tells us. They also work as a team diligently, while they stay focused, keeping their eyes on the prize. They have a purpose and they stay within that purpose. By purpose, I mean having a clear long-term objective or goal which shapes everything they do. For example, one ant's sole job description is to find food for the colony. If they do not find food, them in the colony don't eat. It's kind of like in the Bible, what's it say? Men are to provide. They are to work. That is their punishment from the curse. They are to work and to provide for themselves and their family, which is their colony. That is their job. Now, in today's world, we understand women also have to work. It's just the way the economy is. Things change. I'm going to tell you, it's going to get worse. It's coming. It's going to get worse. And if you didn't watch my video from the homesteading video the other day, check it out. This isn't to scare you. You can be like an ant and you can prepare, or you can just go on lackadaisical and not do anything. And then you're going to get stuck with these high prices. They work hard and they prepare. They keep their eyes on the prize. This is very important. This is probably one of the most important parts here. For example, this is their purpose. And all that their inputs, their time and their energy too. They put all their time and energy into supporting that colony. And so it compounds its chances of success. They don't worry about what others are doing. They don't get distracted with their phones or social media or TV, drama, gossip. They don't get distracted. They stay on track. Their purpose, their sole purpose, is to keep that colony going. To keep it going. To keep them eating, to keep the food stored up for winter, to have their storage, to keep the place looking nice, to keep it all going and they all flow. Ants don't stop. If you see an ant colony or ants when there's like food, they go back and forth. They're like this. They don't stop. They go and they go and they go, and they're focused on what they have to do until they accomplish their goal. They stay focused. They don't care if you walk by it. They don't buy them. They don't care what else is going on. They just keep going. And if you try to stop them, they still keep going. They are focused. That's how we need to be. We need to be focused on our spiritual life, working hard, and leading our families so that they can also be Christ-like, supporting our families, taking care of our houses, taking care of our spiritual house, taking care of things around us. We need to stay focused and keep our goal and our eyes on the prize. Our prize is Jesus, our spiritual walk. Part of our spiritual walk, he tells us, you are to work hard. You shall not eat work you do not eat. Okay, that's spiritually and physically. If you don't work towards your spiritual walk, you're not going to eat the food, the spiritual food he provided. If you do not work physically, you're not going to eat physically. We have to do what the Bible tells us to do. We have to stay focused. So ants live in prosperity. They have a huge mansion, literally. We'll get into that a little bit. But they also work as a team, and that's how we need to be. We have to work as a team. Together, we have to have the same goal. We need to surround ourselves with others who have the same goal. If our goal is to work hard for Jesus, to bring souls into the kingdom, to bring prosperity and money into the kingdom, to fund the kingdom so we can save souls, we're all on the same goal, same plan. We have to seek the Lord. We have to save souls. We have to work hard. And work hard to everything like we're working for Jesus. If you're working for him, it's not work. They have to have those who work, those who gather, those who protect, and much more. And they work unwaveringly till the work is done, no matter what, no matter how long it takes them. They do it from sun up to sundown. They work together in an organized fashion for the good of their community. It doesn't matter. And remember, there's no leader. They do this on their own. They are self-driven. Self-driven. They have self-control. They are workers. They work diligently. They think big. Their mansions are huge for little ants. A human person can fit in it. The main room is the biggest, and it is 3 times bigger than the rest of the room. They have hallways connecting all the rooms. They are very sophisticated for being a pest, and most of us looking at them like they're a nuisance. They are always preparing. We as humans get distracted, but they stay on course. They have more self-control than us. They're more self-driven. Ants are outdoing most of the people in this world. If you're not a hard worker, an ant is outdoing you. A little ant, a tiny ant. How does that make you feel? Knowing that an ant works harder than you. An ant accomplishes more than you a day. An ant stays focused more than you do. Ants. If it makes you feel some kind of way, you better watch some ants and get on track. So let's continue our ant lesson. Did you ever see ants gathering food? We already went on this. One line, and they work hard. They all have a job. They all work hard at accomplishing it. They don't care. They don't say like, oh, so-and-so didn't pull their weight. They're not working as hard as me. I work harder than anyone. No, they just work. They don't care. They work. There's no fighting. They work. There's no comparing. They work. They prepare for the winter, knowing if they don't, they won't eat. And neither will the rest of their colony, their children, their wives, their cousins, their aunts, their uncles, their grandparents. They'll all starve. We need to be prepared for all things in our lives. We need to prepare spiritually, just like the 10 virgins. 5 of them, their lamps were going out. Why? Because they didn't have the extra oil. They didn't fill up before they went somewhere to wait for the bride, to wait for Jesus. We got to keep our lamps full. We need to be on a budget, and we need to save our money. We need to fix things before they break all the way. We need to prepare our hearts before we come to church, pray with praise and worship and prayer. We need to prepare for meetings and interviews. We need to prepare for dinner. We need to prepare for our week's worth of the food. We need to prepare for work each day. We need to prepare with our lunch. We need to prepare with our alarms and our clothes set out. We need to prepare our mindset. We need to prepare all things. They do what they can do. Ants do what they can do. Although they are small, ants can handle up to 100 times their weight. They know their limitations, though. All too often, we say yes to things that we can't do and take on responsibilities that we struggle to fulfill. We all need to know our limits. We need to know what we can do and what we should not be doing. If you never cooked, you should not be volunteering to make food for a gathering. Be honest with others. If they ask you to do something, so many people tell me they can do something and then I start asking them questions about the stuff and they're clueless. Be honest with yourself and with others. Do what you can do and do it well. That is more important than saying yes to everything. You don't have to be a superhero, because a superhero eventually gets taken out by another superhero who stays in their lane and does what they're good at. You can't do everything. That job may be for somebody else to receive that blessing. You do what you can do. With saying that, they serve others. Ants serve others. When few ants in the colony are infected by a fungus, this is very interesting. Infected by a fungus. Most people would be grossed out and say, stay away from me. There's people that are like, oh, you have COVID, get away from me. Oh, you coughed, get away from me. Your nose is running, don't come near me. Did you wash your hands? Okay, this is how a lot of society are. They're so afraid to get sick. They're so afraid of a fungus. So when one of them gets a fungus disease, they spread the disease throughout the colony. This is called, oh my goodness, I lost it. It's like, it's an immune thing. So what happens is, this is how our immune system works. If we get exposed, and this is where they broke down with COVID and things blew up. When we get exposed a little bit, our immune system kicks in and our auto response comes and it fights off that disease. This is how our immune system works. The more we are exposed to stuff, the less we get sick. This is why doctors and nurses don't really get sick, because they've been exposed to everything. Sometimes they get sick, but not as much. This is why when kids first go to school, they get sick like the first 2 years, and then after that, it kind of like tapers off because they've been exposed. So what do the ants do? By licking this fungus off of one another, with each ant receiving as much of the disease their individual immune system can fight off effectively. This is what we should have did with COVID. So, with this being said, I'm not going to get on a COVID rant. Are you helping others? Are you serving your loved ones and helping the church? Are you taking what you can do to help those around you? In the church, we are like a body, is what it says in Corinthians. We all have a different part to play. Right? We all have a different part to play to make up one body. An arm is an arm. A hand is a hand. It's like that in our homes also. Are you playing the part at home that you're called to play? Are you willing to do what needs to be done regardless if it's your responsibility, regardless if it's gross, regardless if you don't like doing it, regardless if somebody left a mess? Same thing in the church. Trust me, I've cleaned up some pretty gross stuff in this building. Are you willing to do it? Pastor Rick and Max were out there fixing the sewer. You should have saw what came out of the sewer when they were fixing it. Are you willing? Are you willing to fight for are you willing to fight the fight till your death? Because ants are. One tried taking me out. Actually several, but only one got stuck on. Those buggers gave their all with me, but I still took them out. They do this on their own. No leaders. They're not being forced. They do it out of love for each other. How much love do you have? How much love do you have for your spouse? Are you willing to do whatever needs to be done? How much love do you have for your church, your neighbors, your community? Are you willing to do what you need to? Are you willing to vote? Are you willing to go to council meetings? Are you willing to clean up the trash around the neighborhood? Are you willing to clean up the dog poop that some people are too lazy to do? That's one thing I miss about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh people do not leave their dog poo lay around. You come to Newcastle, it's everywhere. Nobody cleans their dog poo up. You're walking and you step in dog poo because somebody didn't clean it up. Or you smell it. It's not my dog. I shouldn't have to smell your poo. I shouldn't have to clean it up and I shouldn't have to step in it. Clean up your poo. You have the dog, not me. Clean it up. How many people leave their garbage? You know how much garbage I clean across the street at the church? A ton. Daily, I'm cleaning garbage up because people throw it alongside the road. That is not a dumpster. It is grass. Do not throw your garbage. Are you willing to clean it up? Because you should see some of the garbage I find. Glass broken. What are you willing to do? You willing to scrub toilets? Are you willing to scrub the floor on your hands and knees and get it done good? Are you willing to pay attention to little details to get things done? Are you willing to work hard? Are you? Are you willing to do what you need to spiritually? Are you willing to get up early before work to read your Bible, to pray, to worship, to praise? Are you willing? Are you willing to stay up late to do your Bible study? Are you willing to give up an evening for a Bible study? Are you willing to give up your day off to go to church? How willing are you? Are you willing to lay down your sin and your selfishness, your gossiping, your lying? Are you willing to give up your drugs, your alcohol, your pornography, your addictions? Are you willing to give up the TV? Are you willing to give up your phone? Are you willing to give up your tithe? Where are you spiritually? What are you willing to give up? Because I'm going to tell you what, the Lord gave everything up for us. He gave his son up. His son came as a spotless lamb, a sinless person, the only one that could be spotless and sinless. And he suffered and died for us. How much are you willing to give up? Because he gave up his all, everything. What are you willing to give up? Are you willing to die to your sin? Are you willing to die to your flesh? Are you willing to die to your sluggardness? Are you willing to die to giving up your phone? Are you willing to die to give up that partying life? Are you willing to die to overeating? Are you willing to die to your addiction and give it up? Are you willing to die to your selfishness? To yourself? What are you willing to do? We all have things we need to die to ourselves. We need to give up. We need to crush it. Are you willing to do it for yourself and others? We need to be. How about ants? They work hard at everything. Everything. They give it their all. They're hard workers. They're the most laborious insects in existence. They go and they go and they go. They're kind of like my grandma at 105. She's still going and going and going. She's still washing dishes when she can. She's still making dinner when she can. Are you willing? Are you going to go and go and go? I remember that lady was 90 years old mowing the grass. She had glaucoma and she couldn't see. And I'm like, Grandma, how do you know how are you mowing the grass? She's like, I knew where I left off. She was still working, 90, mowing the grass, doing what she had to do. Washing clothes, cooking dinner. Are you willing? This is how we need to be. Working hard at everything. Our regular jobs, our houses, our marriage, our parenting, our spiritual walk. We need to work hard at it. Our sobriety. We need to stay focused and work hard. If we work each day like we're working for Jesus, we will succeed and work hard in everything we do. If we're not, you're not working for Jesus. Ants do this without saying, look at me. They do it quietly. Most of the time, we don't even know they're there. They do this because it needs done. Not for others to see what they're doing, because it needs done. Not for their glorification, because they care about others and themselves, and it needs done. So my encouraging word for you today is to be like an ant. Work hard, serve others, do what you need to do, prepare. Do everything quietly. Do it for Jesus. Think big. Work, but also rest. This is something they do. They work hard all summer so they can hibernate in the winter months. We have to have a balanced life and know when to work and when to rest. As we rest, we need to be resting in the Lord and spending time with Him. There's time to be a Martha and there's time to be a Mary. Sometimes we got to work and do what needs done, and there's other times we need to just sit at His feet. We need balance. We need to work, and part of being balanced is working as a team, because then it's not all your work. And then we'll live in prosperity. So let's be like ants. What are you doing today? What are you working hard at? What are your goals? Where are you thinking big? What are you doing to build yourself up spiritually? To increase your work production at work? What are you doing? Drop some comments. Let me know. What are you working on? Me, I'm working on getting them deer out of the garden. That's what I'm working at. There's a bunch of other stuff, but those deer gotta go. So I'm going to be like an ant and work diligently and seek the Lord and work hard at everything I do. You can do it too. I know you can. Well, there you are. Be an ant. And I'll talk to you later. Love y'all. Have a blessed day.